So things the judge clearly wasn't happy with this defense team. Let's bring back in criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor Bob Bianchi. Bob saying, you know, quite clearly on the record, there were deliberate and repeated violations of reciprocal discovery, but the defendant's right to a fair trial wins out. What do you think of the decision?
Judge just showed what a mature jurist she is. It's exactly the correct decision, and make no mistake about it. She asked that one simple question, not really caring about the answer, but to make a statement essentially that she is saying, I'm not going to visit the sin of the lawyers onto the defendant. That is the right decision. So she didn't create an appellate or reversible error issue, but she made it clear to the lawyers when she cited the ethics rule that I find that your conduct is in violation of the ethics rules, and she's making a list and she's checking it twice. She made a very strong statement. Excellent, excellent ruling.
And that strong statement she made leads to my question for you. What's next? Because does she have a responsibility in your mind, Bob, to make a report of the ethical violations that she sees to the state bar to deal with the conduct of the attorneys?
Judge, let me say, I have been in this situation as a prosecutor, and it is sandbagging to the highest degree, and you're between a rock and a hard place. And I did have one judge, who literally wrote that list down. She didn't let it affect the trial. She didn't let it affect the rulings. But at the end of the case, she submitted it to the ethics committee in the state. It's unusual because usually things people let things slide. But I don't think that's going to happen in this case, especially with this notoriety. In my opinion, if a judge believes discovery rules were purposely violated, there's an ethical obligation by her to present it to the ethics committee, because this kind of stuff can't go on. Lawyers should know better.
And the defense team basically said, well, he knew it, but I didn't know it. Now, you can't do that. You're one defense team, no matter how many lawyers you have.
Yeah, and she certainly thinks there were these repeated and purposeful violations. Quickly, Bob, this was a big swing by the state, seeking to have these guys thrown out. This is, I think, really the crux of the case, whether he was hit by that car or not. All this other stuff, I think, is sort of window dressing. Now that they are going to be allowed to testify, do you feel like the defense really is in a good position?
Well, you know, sometimes you lose a battle, but you win a war, guys. I mean, this witness is going to get pummeled, in my opinion, and that's what the judge said. You can cross-examine. Let's not lose sight of that statement. Now, I'm wondering, as a defense lawyer, do you want to call this guy that's destroyed these things and have been involved in this kind of conspiracy, if you will, to hide information? So in the end, he may have lost the ruling, but he may win by beating this guy up so badly in front of the jury that it actually, the stink of that attaches to the entire defense.
Yeah, you may be right. Yeah, this case is going to be something else, but we'll keep watching. Thank you, Bob Bianchi, for joining us as always.
All right, folks, stick around.